Hello everyone, this is Glenn Irvin, and this is a video about creating and then assessing assignments. And it is probably one of the most important things that you're going to end up doing inside of Schoology. And it's also one of the things that you want to make sure that you do very well so that you communicate clearly with your students and your parents and anybody else that's facilitating in the learning process, that you clearly communicate what it is that your expectations are, how to go ahead and complete the assignment, specific directions, how they're going to be evaluated, everything included within the assignment itself. And that is the reason why when we do create assignments, it's important that they are robust, that we don't just write a title for the assignment and give it a due date and some kind of point value. That is what we want to stay away from. Schoology gives us the ability to be able to include any resources, links, videos, audio, anything that the student may need to be able to go ahead and successfully complete the assignment and really to do well as far as their learning. So how do you go ahead and create an assignment? Very easily, you're going to go to add materials and add assignment, and you're going to give your assignment a title. The title, as far as the naming conventions, it's very important to go ahead and not name your assignments like quiz 1, assignment 2, those kinds of things. Make sure that this is a very descriptive title and that they are unique. Okay, unique descriptive titles are the best. I even used to add the due date on the title just because I wanted the students to clearly see, hey, this is what you're going to be doing. This is the name of the assignment. This is actually when it's due. Even though Schoology also has that option to be able to add that, I had another ability to be able to add kind of another detail. So a very descriptive title here. In the description right here, I think this is the most underutilized part of the assignment. Basically, you're going to add any directions for the assignment as far as completing it. That makes total sense. Maybe expectations, maybe any types of clarifications that you may need there. They can be in written form. Highly recommend that. And video. You can add both of those if you want to go ahead and do both at the same time. Over here, you can also add files to this. So let's say you had a PDF file or a movie file or an image, specific image that you needed to include in there. You can add those by clicking there, then choosing something from your computer, and then adding them very easily back to the assignment itself. You can add any links that the student may need. So we are avoiding going to different places to gather the information that's needed to complete this. It's all here in one place. If you have items inside of your resources, you would click resource here and then be able to pull that item in. If you wanted to go ahead and add an audio video recording, like on the fly, like I'm doing right now, I could click that and then go ahead and either do an audio or an audio and video recording and be able to go ahead and include this in the assignment itself. We're going to talk about Google Drive assignments in a different video, so don't worry about that part right here. The scale or rubric, we've talked about that in grade setup. You should be able to find this appropriate grading scale. So for example, the Sauk Rapids Rice High School or the middle school, whichever one fits with your specific building. A point value there is important to go ahead and give it a specific point value. You want to avoid point values of 0. Just because it confuses the systems, make sure that you add a point value there. Categories should have already been created within grade setup. So you should already have some categories here. I just have one here. It's called assignments. I could go ahead and name it that right there, but you must choose that. Period will automatically be chosen for you if we are within a certain period, working period. In other words, trimester. If you were working to the tri-system or quarter system, you select which one here. It will automatically be selected for you. The grading period will be selected for you if you create the assignment within that grading period. But let's say you started creating assignments before, let's say, school started, you'll have to select that one if you want to go ahead and add that at the moment. Then this is a tricky part as far as the Schoology is concerned. Due dates. You select the due date. Let's just say I selected August 5th. Okay. By default, let's take a quick look at this right here. This is super important. It automatically chooses 11:59 p.m. And this is a very awkward time to go ahead and make something due. So choose an appropriate time to make something due for your age range. So for example, it might be 3:15 p.m. That would make sense there. You have to actually change that for each assignment that you create. And that can be annoying on the teaching end, but just understand it's important to change that from 11:59 p.m., especially for most of our students there. Let's come down to here. There's some parts about learning objectives. Not going to worry too much about that part. But let's talk about some specific things here. There's going to be a video right after this one talking about individually assigning this assignment to either a person, specific people, as far as students in your group or in your class, or specific groups that you decide to go ahead and assign, whether those be for students, English language learners, or special education students, or whoever it might be that you're special individually assigning, or even specific groups. You can go ahead and do that also for. So I will be talking more about individually assigning in just a little bit, but here's where it's at. There is this button that by default, it says submissions enabled. If your students are going to submit a digital assignment, a digital artifact, so they're going to submit something they typed up or a PDF they submit or an image or something digital, a digital artifact, you just leave that alone and they can go ahead and submit assignments right there. If the students are going to hand turn in something, okay, so it's a physical piece of paper or something like that, you may want to click this off, okay, like that, and gray it out. And now the submissions are disabled. And so the students will not have to turn in anything digitally. They won't be able to turn in anything digitally. The assignment will still be created. There'll still be a due date for it and so on and so forth, but there will be no digital submission of it. You will go in there and hand type in the grades is a better way of being able to describe it. Okay. So that's the difference between submissions enabled and disabled. By default, we have this right here, comments enabled. The students can comment on the assignment, usually being able to ask questions. I usually leave that on. It's totally preference as far as the teacher's concerned. And then I can copy this assignment to courses, but you can do this at any time, so you don't need to do it right now. And then I just press the create button and boom, my assignment will be created. I think the most important parts about this entire thing, as far as the assignments, are a unique title, as far as for the name of the assignment, a robust description here of all of the details that a student needs to be able to complete the assignment, and then the attaching of files, links, and anything else that a student may need to be able to successfully complete the assignment. So it's a lot of things you have to think through before you just go ahead and create a quick assignment. It's not like just writing something inside of a gradebook. That's what we want to go ahead and avoid. We want this to be a place where a student goes to be able to know exactly what they need to do. And the reason for all of this is not only because a student will click on the assignment when they're ready to go ahead and start working on something. But one of the things that a student sees, and the way that we've learned from our students, is that the way that they navigate Schoology is very different than the way a teacher would navigate Schoology. For the most part, a lot of our students log into Schoology, they get to this home screen, and they look over here on the right-hand side. Now, I have a bunch of overdue assignments, but it could say up here, upcoming or overdue. And they wouldn't even go to courses and then select your course and so on and so forth. They just would go from right here and go right into the assignment and start being able to start figuring out, what do I need to do here? So like, for example, this essay on educational pre-cohort assignment. Let me click on this. And it's something that I'm, as far as a part of a group here of other educators, and you can see my directions are here. A video here by Mike Walker is here as far as explaining exactly what you need to go ahead and do. And I can even submit the assignment here. This is a fantastic example of being able to not have to go somewhere else to figure out, what do I need to do here? I just clicked on it and I go, oh, this is what I need to go ahead and do. And now I can go ahead and complete the assignment and submit it. Hopefully that all makes sense. The way that students navigate Schoology is different than the way that us educators navigate, as far as within folders, this certain week, and so on and so forth. That's great to do that. We need to do that also, but we also need to keep in mind that Schoology gives a variety of different ways to be able to quickly access the assignments, and this would be one of the ways that the students do it. If you have any questions about creating assignments or anything else, let us know.